We're going to find the inverses of functions in this video. So first off, a function has to be invertible. It has to be one-to-one in order to be able to find the inverse. But if it's invertible, we can find the inverse by following these steps. First, you're going to interchange the input and the output. Interchange the x and the y in the function. Then you're going to solve for the new y value. Then you're going to replace y with f inverse of f of x. So here's an example. Remember, an inverse function takes the old output and replaces it with what the old input was. So this is x, this is now y. That's step one. Now we have to solve for this y. So we're going to strip everything away from here. We're going to take off the thing that is least attached to the y. So this is reverse order of operations, right? Think about shoes and socks. You put on your socks first, then your shoes. That's order of operations. But you have to take off the last thing first, right? Take off your shoes before your socks. So first off, we add 4 to both sides. Now we take the cube root of both sides. That's how we undo cubing something. The cube root is the 1/3 power. You could also put a cube root sign there. Now we need to get y by itself. So we'll write this as x plus 4 to the 1/3 minus 2. Last but not least, instead of y, we typically write that as f inverse of x. And typically we write it on the left, although it's not wrong to write it on the other side. F inverse of x equals x plus 4 to the 1/3 power, or it would be totally appropriate to write that as the cube root of x plus 4. Okay, here's another problem. Notice we don't have a y here, but that's the output. So we're going to replace this with x. We're going to replace x with y. Oops. And everywhere we have an x, we're going to replace it with y. Now, the challenge here is we're solving for y, but there are two y's. So we have to get y in one place. First off, we clear denominators. X, y minus 4 equals 2y minus 1. Now I'm going to distribute that x, so I get xy minus 4, x equals 2y minus 1. I want the y's all in one place. I'll go ahead and gather the y's over to the left-hand side. So xy minus 2y, subtracting that term over. How do I get this off of the side with the y's? Because it doesn't have a y, I'm going to add 4x to both sides. So 4x minus y. Make sure you follow that step. I'm going to gather the y. So this is y times x minus y times 2. So I factor out that y. Now, how do I get y by itself? Once you factor the y out, it's easy to divide by the x minus 2. Now, following that last step here, I'm going to write this as f inverse of x equal to 4x minus 1 over x plus 2. There you have it.